So here it is. And it fits sort of the 500 mil, well, hello, Snowy, 500 mil size mason jars. I got a cat. I got an interested cat. Hello, interested cat. Don't knock over the paper towel. I'm using those. Anyway, so I got 4 rows, and he's put a little lip on it so that when you're pulling one out or something, you're not going to knock a bunch down. Yes, you're not supposed to be on the table. Yes, and don't go anywhere near the paint. So this is what I was going to use. This Rust-Oleum. And I just opened these. I've never used them. This is the charcoal and the age gray. This age gray is actually what's on our dresser upstairs. We have bought it already painted, but she told me that's the color. So I thought I got some stuff to do in the bathroom, then I'll use the same color. And I kind of wanted it to look like these. I could not find my white paint for some reason. And I do have a dark gray, which was similar to this one that I used on this. And I just dry brushed it on to make it look like it's aged cedar. It was actually cedar, but of course not going to age in my dining room table. And really, cat? Really? There's some zucchinis I started here. I don't want any space where my other plants are. Maybe I should paint the cat. Thank you, kitty. So if it's 7 across by 4, so it's like 28 jars. Plus he's made it so the top has a bit of a lip, although I don't know where I'm going to put it exactly, but there won't be much room at the top if I kind of put it at the height I was going to. So I think I'm going to have to lower it a little bit to be able to utilize anything on the top, even if it's just something, you know, not very high at the top, something like that. So I think I'm going to try to make it look like this. I do like that look. I think I'm just going to start with the age gray and then see how it goes. And then we'll decide. I can't ever take the paint off. That's the thing about keeping it natural. I could just take some wipe on poly and just say I'm done, right? That could be all done just like that. But there's nothing natural wood in the kitchen except the color of the floor will be wood colors. It's a mixed varied pattern whenever we get that done. And everything else can be painted white or, you know, I think I'm going to do the island in blue. So it's hard to say. You're not really going to see this because it's going to be filled with jars. You're really only going to see this front edge and this side because the other side's against the wall. So does it really matter what color it is? But this wood was actually the wood taken down. Like the kitchen ceiling is the same ceiling as we have in our sunroom. I think this is the sunroom ceiling boards. And my husband just planed them down. So I took off all that varnish. And this is just all reused wood from the house, which is kind of cool because it came out of the house and it's going to go back into the house. So that's neat. So here is my spice rack. My husband has temporarily put it up there, 6 screws, but the problem with this wall is that it's steel beams and this stuff, cement board. So it's not very structurally sound. So I painted it gray, sort of to look like sort of like farmhouse, but not to detract too much from, you know, the backsplash, because that's the feature. Oh, cookies are done. Computer, stop. Okay, the cookies are done. I have to get them in the oven. So what he's going to do now is cut up some wood to fit behind it, something that the screws can grip into. And he's just behind there now measuring and doing whatever, because there's bound to be one stud in the middle, so it's not just one piece of wood. It's got to be, you know, 1, 2, and 1, 2 at the top. So something like that. And what I have done is I had all these, don't mind the mess, we're still renovating here. I had all these old-fashioned jars with the glass. I do have some with the seals. I put a seal on that one. But although that's not really black pepper, it's a mixed pepper. That's what I happen to have on hand. But I did all these labels, and I did them with the Avery circle, the craft paper circles, and I used their software, and for some reason they still didn't line up properly when they printed off. I adjusted them twice, and anyway, that's how they turned out. So looks pretty authentic to me. So I got the black pepper here, and some parsley, nice glass tops. They're all a little different, these glass tops. Actually, most of the jars are, oh, this one is different. This one is the jewel jar. And then this one is the improved gem made in Canada. So I think actually the lid on this one is the improved gem. Yeah, so I guess I could switch the lids around, but yeah, so I got a whole slew of them like this, done up with these old-fashioned canning jars that can't be used for canning anymore. But for some herbs, there's my sage. I just gotta fill it up now. So I gotta get them all out. I think some have gotten dusty inside. I gotta rinse them out again, and I actually put them on the hot plate here to dry them off. Works great to make sure your jar is extra dry before you fill it with your dry herbs. So that's what it will look like when it's finished being screwed in. This is my pot filler faucet. It was going to go here. Well, it was going to go there. Then it was going to go here. Hadn't got installed yet. And I really want it to hold enough spices. Those spaces will fit these jars. And then there's a little bit of shorter space up top for either I have a smaller sized jar, or if we don't end up using that, I have other small mason jars or whatever. Who knows? I can't reach up that high, so who knows? Maybe it'll be a decorative plant by the time we're finished here. So this pot filler faucet will go back to its assigned spot, which was sort of like in the middle here, in the seam there, probably at that one right there. So I'll have to see, because I'm not very tall. I have to be able to grab it, right? So that'll go there now that we figure that out. So, and then of course I get to clear off all this, and once we finish all the cupboards, actually that's the toe kick for this cupboard. It's just sitting on some random 2x4s. These are going to fill in the gap here, or some of them are. I can't remember how this is going to work. And there's a bigger one in the back there. And by the time the face frame, or I don't know, I have to figure it out. Maybe I have to cut more of these tiles. I think we have a few more left, because we were very economical with them when we put them in. And we had folded them here, so there's not even a cut at the corner. So it makes the corner look really, really sharp. So we didn't waste anything. So we just need to finish putting them on down here. We glued them to that cement board, and then we put these little screws on the edge to hold them in place while it dried. So then these 3 screws will come back out, and then the next pieces will go up. I think it'll be about half a tile, because it's about almost 2 squares, and it's a little bit more than 1 long. So 1 full tile cut in half should fit. And then we got to pull that cover back out in order to do that, so that's why it's never been done. And then we will clean up inside there, put the toe kick on, screw to the floor, and then install the cover properly to the toe kick. And then I could build the face frame for that one.
Brush your teeth and put your pajamas on.
Alexa's telling the kids to go to bed. It's perfect. So this is the other side of the spice rack wall. Oh, I see. My husband's putting the wood vertically. That makes sense. 3 pieces of that, I guess. So that's what he's doing. He's backing off a couple of screws and installing the wood. And here it is. I gotta get a few more jars. I believe I have some packed away in a box. When we packed away the kitchen, I don't know how many. I have more labels and I have more spices, so I'm hoping I can find some, or check some antique stores to find more. So there it is.
Don't forget to hit the like button.